y'all doing? Let me take this mask down. This is your hostess with the mostest, Donna Smith, aka Lady D. Excuse if the lighting is not great. I am chilling, as y'all can see. I'm not in my car for some afternoon thoughts. I am chilling right here at home and thought I'd reach out to y'all in this fashion. Um, Happy Tuesday. My voice is a little hoarse. Yes, it is. I done got a little under the weather, but other than that, a girl is all right. She's a survivor. She gonna be all right. So how y'all doing? How was your weekend? I just wanted to just kind of. I was sitting here thinking about some things, and this video pretty much is don't judge a book by its cover. And for some reason, I think I need to sit up a little bit because I feel like I'm sliding down in this bed. Okay, here I am. That's a little better. So, don't judge a book by its cover. So, meaning everything that looks good, that looks right, that looks perfect, that looks tight is not always that. You know, some people, they'll turn around and say, well, man, you know, that package looks great. Forget about the contents of what's inside, but that package looks great. That's judging a book by its cover. You see what I'm saying? As a matter of fact, you guys, this protein premier, I just want to say this before I go on. This is pretty good. This one I have been drinking some time to get my low protein on. It's 30 grams of protein. It's 1 gram of sugar, 25 vitamins and minerals. It also has caffeine. It's this one is called the Cafe Latte, and it's an energy and immune system booster, and it's really good. It has a nice flavor. It gives you a nice little jolt. Mm, so it's all good. But yeah, back to the conversation at hand. We need to stop judging books by its cover. Just like now that we're going around with all this stuff going on, all these different microorganisms, all these different things we can come in the midst of getting, these little viruses and stuff like that. You may look at somebody and they look like they just fine. They look like they are the healthiest. They packaged and their yolk is all on and everything is cool, and they are full of a lot of microorganisms. So you have to really be careful about trying to judge that book by its cover. You got to know what's going on in the contents inside, what's happening with that person. I got stuffy nose too. This is ridiculous, y'all. But anyway, your sister gonna be down for a few days, so I'm gonna be hitting y'all up probably every day that I can, and just kind of go there with some grown folk talk. And another thing, it seems as though when people nowadays, with everything going on, when you get a situation, somebody gets sick with something, and they got the sniffles, they got the cough, they got this, they got that. Everybody, you a big disease. Get away, get away, get away, get away. I don't want you near me. You a big disease. Don't do that, y'all. I mean, you got to be safe. Wear your mask. Wear your mask. You know what I'm saying? Keep yourself safe. Sanitize your hands and do all that. But, you know, people are dealing with things internally and mentally, when they're dealing with stuff that they get. And, sometimes just saying the wrong thing or being jokey about it or whatever can hurt somebody's feelings. And they're not a floating disease. Anybody can get sick. So, we have to be mindful of that and stop judging books by its covers too. Because the ones you think ain't got, they walking around getting ready to set a bomb off. All them little microorganisms coming at you. Yeah, for real. So anyway, other than that, we just gonna try to just talk about some little things here. I've had a conversation with somebody that um they're dealing with a breakup from a long-term marriage, and they're finding it very difficult to deal with the separation from this person because this person has been in their lives for a very long time. They are like in their late 40s and they had been together since their early 20s. So it's a very hard thing for them to deal with right now. It's a mourning process. And they're really scared. They're scared stiff about getting back out here into the jungle. I call it the jungle because um it's a lot going on out here in the dating world. Things are different. Things has changed, and it's scary. It's scary for anybody, but it's definitely scary for somebody who has been in a situation for so many years, and now you're left alone. Now, mind you, there's some who may really love the fact that I'm finally free. Free at last, free at last. I'm not caged up and locked up and controlled no more. I am a free man or a free woman. Some people may really dig that for a little while. But then you get to missing. It's something about having that special someone that you know that's going to be there, that you know that's there. When you turn the key and you walk in the house, you know that they're there or they're going to be coming there. Um, if your car stops on the side of the road, you know if you call them and you need them to come to your rescue, they're going to come there. If you need them to kick somebody's butt, they're going to kick their butt. It's comforting to know that you have someone there. However, how do what do you tell a person that's freshly going through a separation anxiety from someone that they have been with for so long? And when you really think about it and look at it, like, they were telling me, well, Lady D, I, I really should have tried more. I should have tried harder. I shouldn't have gave up so quickly. I should have, let that person know and showed them that they mattered. I just ran for the first door exit when things got rough. I just left. And they lost their best friend, they say. And it's hard to deal with the weights of loss when you know that you didn't put forth all that you could. You didn't do all that you could to keep that situation afloat or to help it to be solid. You know what I'm saying? Because the easiest thing at the time was to say, bye, bye. I'm done. I don't want to do this no more. And you leave. You know what I'm saying? You get up out of there. And you carry the weights of that after the fact because it's like, you messed up. You actually screwed up. Um, and now you're feeling terrible. You're feeling like, after you get out here into the woods and the world, and you see that it's not all that fuzzy of a party like you thought. It's not all that warm and cozy like you thought. It's issue after issue after issue because guess what? You got to go and you got to learn this new person all over again. You got to learn this new situation all over again. There's going to be some pros and there's going to be some cons. And sometimes the cons outweigh the cons that you came from when you go in to try to get with something else. And that's judging the book by its cover. Because a lot of times, especially if you're a physical person, you get into looking at um, the outer adornments. How sexy she is, how fine she is, how smooth her skin is, how luscious her lips is, how big her butt is, how big her breasticus is. I mean, you get all caught up in that. And women, look at his muscles and his strength, and man, that beard and that goatee and that and those eyebrows and those sexy eyes. I mean, people go for the wrong things. So you look at these outer adornments, right? And then you judging the book by its cover. Then you end up getting into the contents, the meat of the book. You don't even read the forward. You don't even read what it's about, the intro. You don't even read none of that. You just go right diving on in there and find out you got a disaster waiting to happen. And you know, you may come from something that has so much substance and so much, history and so much solidness. And the craziest, stupidest reasons you broke up is you can't even really tell nobody because it was just stupid. You left. You left because you guys had an argument about your clothes was on the floor and they asked you to pick them up, hang them up, put them up, fold them up, whatever you had to do with them, and you got mad, didn't want to do it, so they picked them up, folded them up, put them up for you, and you got mad, pissed off because they was trying to control when your clothes was gonna be put up and folded up and put up. And the argument escalated, and before you knew it, they was telling you to get your clothes, go. You was saying, I'm gonna get my clothes and go, and you guys broke up. You was gone. And then you sitting over there with your partner, y'all getting drunk a couple of nights, and or you with your girls and y'all go out and shake your butt a couple of nights, and then when them couple of nights is over, guess what? You back to reality and thinking about the fool you just did and what you just lost and why. See, we have to start thinking and reacting in a way that is not only geared centrally focused on you and your needs and your wants, but the whole equation. See, people get involved in these relationships, excuse me, or these marriages or these situationships. Uh, uh, you know, that situationship thing got me going. I'm still trying to figure that one out with situationship. Okay, all right. But anyway, people got these things they doing, right? And you are still only considering you. When you get involved with someone, they become now your situation, your issue, your everyday concern as well, because you both have migrated together. And I think that's missing in a lot of our connections nowadays. I think some people are still A, they're judging the book by its cover only, not the contents. B, they're selfishly thinking just of themselves. And that's it. Just of themselves. They're not being concerned about the other person. It's their wants and needs and desires. It's what they need, what I want to do, how I want to do it. Let's make it happen in my way. Let's make it happen the way I want it. Let's make it happen now. But no, what you got? We'll deal with we'll deal with what you talking about later. Right now, let's deal with what I'm talking about. It's all about them. Um, see, there's no there's no commitment and staying power. It's too easy for people now to just say, "I'm folding it. I'm out. I can't do it. I don't want to do it. I'm sick of you. I've outgrown you. I'm not growing with you. I'm sick of you. I'm sick of you too. I'm sick of you. I'm sick of you. I'm sick of you." And before you know it, you both are going in two different directions. But you love each other and you've been together for X amount of years. And what I never really understood, help me understand this. I just, I've seen it happen before and I just shook my head because I'm trying to understand. Excuse me, you guys, I got a little nasal going on. So if I'm sounding a little stuffy, that's why. But I'm clear up here. I'm still, I got this. Um, like I was saying, you see those people who they have 15, 20, 30 years in, and then all of a sudden, somebody wants to go. Somebody wants to leave. Somebody say this is not it no more. You're 15, 20, 30 years in. I don't get it. I mean, it had to have been signs, wonders, reasons, something along the way before 15, 20, 30 years. You see? And then when you get to a season stage in life, you may not even have 30 years to get nobody. Shit, you might enjoy the 15, 20 maybe, but you may not have 30. God willing, you may have 30, but you just don't know. But I'm talking about you younger and you. But the thing is, the staying power. Now, and this is why it's not good to just hold on to something just because it's a situation. If it's not right from the beginning, you find that out. It's not right. Because some people, I've had somebody tell me, um, it's like, well, why are you still with your wife if you say that there's a disconnect and you guys are just no longer really together or fitting or whatever? Why are you still? Well, I'm there because of my child. And that was about 19 years ago. 18 years ago, they said that. Guess what? They still there because of their child. The thing is, why hold up someone's life just because you want to be there for whatever your selfish reasons is? You can be a father or a mother with two people being in two different households. You can still be parents. You can still love that child. You can still spend time. You can co-parent. It can work. But what are you teaching that child by staying together in a dysfunctional situation and you both have disconnected? What are you showing them about marriage, about relationships, about love, about affection, about a healthy way of loving and caring for someone? What are you showing them? Some people may try to fake it, but even if you try to fake it, people can see through that. Even young kids can understand when you're faking. Nowadays, they'll even tell you, you faking. You faking, that ain't real. What kind of kiss was that? Okay. So, the thing is, you know, when you find out early in the game that this is not a good fit or it's a reason not to, you know, deal with this, or maybe you judged that book by the cover and found out that the contents was all jacked up, don't wait 15, 20, 30 years. Just don't make no sense. Now, I'm not trying to tell nobody to run out the back door and not deal with what you're dealing with, because I believe that you should definitely try to work on things if you can. But if you're both trying to work on it, that's one thing. That's good. That's great. If you're both trying to work on it. But you got situations where only one person's trying and the other person is trying to be gone. Mm-mm. They trying to be gone. If they trying to be gone, then help them. Open the door. Open the door for them. Sweep the little porch so it'll be clean, so they can have a little clean road. You can even buy one of them things from the dollar store. One of them red trail carpet runners. Put that out there. Trail it to their car. Make it a plush moment if that's what they want to do. Right? Stop tying up your life and your time with something that what didn't turn out to be the type of contents that you thought it should be because you judged the book by the cover and found out that it was something you didn't even want to read anyway. Hmm. Very interesting thought, huh? So back to this situation about us out here in this dating world, and we got all these microorganisms going on. I always like to bring this up because it's a true reality. I went to a comedy show, and you see the couples and you see the not couples, and you see um people that look like they kind of on dates or whatever the situation is, and they all close and fuzzy, and we got all this stuff going around. But you know it's just the game has really changed, and people that have been involved for a long period of time, and that's now out here again trying to do this again. It's scary. It's very, very scary. And you know my word of advice is, take your time. Take your time. Get to know people for who they are internally. Get to know this first and this. Get to know this and this. All that outer adornment stuff, that's all gravy. That's cool when a person got a little sexy look and they may be handsome and all that. That adds to the whole pie, but that's not the whole pie. That's just like sprinkling some nutmeg or a little bit of cinnamon in maybe one of them pies you making or something, or the sweet potatoes or whatever it is. It's just adding, enhancing. That's all that is. Um, Everything that you put into the bowl to make your voila, your big juicy cake, whatever it is you're baking, every single ingredient has its reason and place. Then you put it all together and you mend it and blend it all together. You put it in your little pan and you bake it, and voila, you got this masterpiece. But you couldn't have that masterpiece with just putting one or two ingredients in there, stirring it all up, putting it in there and seeing what it do. Probably wouldn't rise, wouldn't have no taste. It would just be bland. You know what I'm saying? So you need all the ingredients to help build and make your masterpiece. And I think if we start to focus and keep that in the forefront when it comes to choosing, mixing, and mingling It's okay to look at the big booties. It's okay to look at the jiggle wiggle. It's okay to look at the squirmy wormy. It's okay to look at the the stiff rods. It's okay to look at the buffness. It's okay to see the yolk. I mean, all that stuff is wonderful. Hey, eye candy. Hi. But that's not everything because when you get to the contents, when you get inside of what's going on with that person and what's inside that package, a lot of times it's a bitter taste. It's very seldom and it's hard to find someone who is the full meal deal, who has the full package, the looks, the beauty, the physique, the health, the mental, the heart, the spirit, the soul. When they have the whole package and they are the bomb and nothing is really lacking majorly because nobody's perfect, but nothing is really lacking majorly, that's hard to find. But they're out there. They're out there for sure. But you have to start looking beyond the surface. You have to dig deeper. You have to start looking within. So when you're out here in this world of piranhas and mixing and mingling, especially if you've been tied up in something for a long time, you think your game is still on point, but things have changed. People have changed. Men has changed. Women has changed. People are not as loving and concerned as they used to be because everybody is guarded. Um, but you do have some who are open to really just want to just love a person, that the right person. And you just gotta find that one. You gotta find that one. And usually you find each other. You know, it's not a thing of going out with your fishing rod and just throwing your line everywhere you go. It's when it's destined, it's gonna happen. You're gonna meet, you're gonna greet, you're gonna hook up. Nothing is gonna be forced. It's going to fit. You're going to make it happen. It's going to feel like magic. It's going to feel like, yeah, man, where were you so many years ago? But I'm glad I got you now. You see what I'm saying? But you got to focus on the right things. The right things. And I was talking a little bit about this on another show I did about how we can get caught up into that physical thing, you know, the clap clap. That was on my Sunday show where I was talking about the clap clap. We get so intrigued and caught up on wanting to get with somebody to do this clap clap thing, and then once the clap clap is done and over, and you have nothing else, you have nothing. You have nothing until ding a ding a ling a ling the next time you call, and the next time they call, and we get back and we clap again. Now, if you're into just wanting to clap, and that's all you're into, and that works for you, well, so be it. To each his own. I guess you'll be clapping for a while, you know? But if you are into wanting and needing much more than that, then you're gonna have to change your whole strategy and outlook and reach and purpose and direction. You got to change it. You got to shift some things up because people will keep it on a certain level if they're allowed to keep it on a certain level. Period. Just period. Hey, if I can keep it on this level and it works for me, and I'm cool and I'm happy and it seemed to be all right with you, or you ain't acting like it ain't all right with you, you still letting me have it my way, then I'm gonna keep having it my way. And that's men and that's women too. If you can have it your way, you're gonna keep it your way. So the clap clap becomes the whole situation and the only situation. And then another thing I want to bring up before I go is, you know, there was an old saying that, how did that go? The way you got your baby hook is the way you're going to keep the same way you got your baby. The same way you got your baby hooked is the same way it's going to take to keep them or something like that. Y'all know what I'm saying. I'm a little stuffy, but I think that's how it went. Same way it took to get your baby hooked, same way you're going to take to keep them. So think back to how you hooked your baby with your line, with your hook, with your sinker. How did you reel them in? How did you get them? How did they become so interested in you in that way? What made it happen? Okay? So, if you hooked your baby by doing some romantic things, being considerate, being loving, being caring, taking them out on dates, calling whatnots, little love notes, complimenting them, affectionate ways towards them. That's what it's going to take to keep them because that's what helped build upon that attraction and desire for one another. If you hooked your baby by the clap, you know what I'm saying? It started off, you met, you saw each other, the chemistry was great, you clapped, and you kept on clapping. And y'all just kept clapping. That reeled them in. Because they love to clap. You love to clap. And y'all just kept clapping. And that's what it was all about, the clap. And I'm not talking about the STD to clap, y'all. I'm talking about the clap, clap. That is what your foundation is going to be built on, is the physical clap. So therefore, if something happens where the physical clap shifts, it leaves, it starts depreciating, um, or whatever the situation, trust starts to become an issue with that. Perhaps they do some things that make you think that they're doing some other things, whatever. Your whole thing is built upon that. Then that's all you're going to have to help keep you guys together is the clap. So that's all it took to get that was it. You didn't have nothing else. You didn't have no connection. You didn't have no understanding. You didn't have no communication. You didn't have no trust. You didn't have no romance. You didn't have no dating. You didn't have no empathy. You didn't have no loyalty. You didn't have no security. You didn't have no connection. You didn't have no mental stimulation. You didn't have, I can go on and on and on and on and on. You didn't have none of that else. You just had the clap. So understand this. If you build something upon just having a clap, that's all you're going to have. And I'm not dissing that if that's all you want to have. But I know as a grown ass woman, and at this point in my life, I want a lot more than just clapping. And usually, mature folks do want a lot more than just clapping. When you was in your 20s, that was probably a book you could have wrote 3 times or 4. That was all it was about, was clapping most times. But as you elevate and mature, you want more. So build your foundation and cash your line in the way that you want things to go. Stop judging a book by its cover. Get to know the contents of that book before any judgment is made. A book cover can always be beautifully crafted in a way to make you think that, man, have you ever seen somebody who made a delicious, beautiful cake? It just looked so, they had the art, the little icing, and then you cut the cake and it was hard inside and not moist. It didn't even taste like cake, it tastes like rubber. But the outside of that cake was a beauty. Hey, Keith. What's going on? Yeah, the truth hurts, sweetheart, but it's real. It's grown. But you cut that cake and it's like, what is this? Because you're judging the outside of that cake by the beauty that you thought was going to be inside of that cake. And the beauty came from getting inside of that cake first, from the inside out. That's what we have to remember. So when you out here searching, when you out here looking, and you got to remember, you know, you got to pray. You got to pray about what you want. You got to be specific about what you want. Be specific in your prayers, because just by praying for a man, you may get any man. Just by praying for a woman or a wife, you may get any woman or wife. You got to be specific about what you want, and specific about what you want for you. Okay? Because what's specific for you may not be specific for me. Because we got two different wants, needs, and desires. So everyone has their own interpretation of what is needed and good for them. But we have to start focusing in more on the contents. The content, okay? Um, I can't tell you how many times I've run into some very interesting people that I thought just was well made up. I mean, I knew was well made up on the exterior. But once I had a little bit of conversation a couple of times with them, or even went on a date with them, I'm like, oh my God, who is this? And totally different from what I anticipated. But I was a little younger then, and I was looking at things more on a superficial level. Well, things have definitely changed with that. I mean, you do want to be attracted to a person overall in all ways, but like I said, the outer adornment is not the most important thing when it comes to quality. Um, but yeah, but these are just some things to think about, you guys. Some things for us to um something. Wait just a minute. Let me respond to this. Okay. So, yeah, we just have to sometimes, you know, it just takes you take a minute to just just let things just marinate. Just taste it. Just breathe it. Just think it, before reacting it, and it will help you in a lot of ways with connecting with the right situation and not wasting your time. At this stage of the game, nobody wants to waste time. Who wants to? You remember when you were younger and you would go from this relationship to that relationship to this relationship. Before you knew it, shit. In the past 6 years, you probably was involved with 12 people. Because about every 6 months, you got somebody new. What? Really? Who wants to go through that? That's not what's happening. So you're going to have to do things differently, and stop being afraid of being alone for a minute. Sometimes we need to be alone for a minute. That's the time for you to regroup, to re-gauge, to re-identify, to self-reflect, to get to a place where you start self-identifying, you know, about you so that you can present your package well. And also to sit and determine, really weigh what it is you got out of that last situation that was good and that was bad. Because it wasn't all bad. You wouldn't have been involved with them if it was bad from the gate. So there's some things that you got that was good that will complement growth. And then some of the things that were bad, you learn, you grow, and um it helps you build a more solid foundation with your newfound love interest or choice, right? And stop waiting, you guys, on the other person to make the move. If it's somebody you're interested in, and I say this, I've always said this, and I'm going to continue to say this. If you're interested in someone, let them know. Let them know. Not only let them know, reach out. You know, sometime a little conversation, a little walk, a little talk, a little something, a little coffee, a little something, something, something. I mean, reach out. And, you know, me personally, I'm a little old school. So usually, old school women, we kind of fall back a little bit and let the man kind of do the approach first and this and that. And then once we get on that, man, y'all look out because we coming. We coming. You know what I'm saying? But especially when we feel comfortable in knowing that the interest is mutual. The interest is mutual, it's on, if you're both interested in one another. But dang, you guys, my nose stuffy. But like I was saying, we have got to just use better choices. We have got to start self identifying. The outer package is not the most important thing, you guys. Let's start looking at the contents. And I love what I do. I love doing my little grown folk conversations with you guys, especially during the week on our afternoon thoughts. Just off the top of the head, like I'm doing. And I am just, man, I'm loving it. I'm loving the feedback. I'm loving the views. I'm loving the responses. And as you guys see, unless I'm totally laid down flat, I'm still bringing it, stuffy and all, because as long as my mind is operating and God is giving me the ability to sit up and do this, I'm bringing it. hmm I am. And you guys don't forget, Sundays we be having a really great Grown Folk Talk show on Sundays. YouTube Live, 7 p.m., 6:30 Zoom. We get started, and it's really nice. It's really cool. Panel, 3, 4, 5 of us, and we bounce off some thoughts, some fun, some interesting conversation. Everybody is comfortable being who they are. Nothing is scripted. It's just, hey, it's life. Just like what I'm doing now. I'm talking randomly about life. And this is what makes it so unique, I believe. Nothing is scripted about anything that I'm doing. When I log on here and I go live, I put a title up there, maybe randomly a thought, and I talk. That's what I do. And I thank God for blessing me with the ability to do that, to be able to just bounce it off like that, and hopefully the conversation, the dialogue, the message will, touch someone in a way to make you go, because sometimes some of the feedback you guys give make me go, you know, with thinking about things too. This is therapeutic, not only for you, but for me too. Especially when a girl is up here all stuffy and stuff, and I'm gonna be stuffy for a couple of days probably. Um, I'm up here, got nothing but time to do but think and reflect and do my talks and start writing. Yeah, it's time for me to do some writing. But I just want to say, hey, went a little longer today, but that's okay. I'm gonna be back tomorrow. You guys will see me pretty much a lot this week, and we're going to be bouncing off some more conversation, grown folk style. I want you to be good, be safe. Remember, you guys, remember, let me put this drink down. Remember, wear your mask, okay? Wear your mask, all right? Keep them on when you're out and about. Um, Also, sanitize your hands. Don't be touching all this little stuff and doing this and this and that. And keep yourself cool. Keep yourself cool and just be good. And Keith, thank you so much. I'm glad you are a part of it, and others that are out there watching and viewing and just checking it out. I couldn't do this without you guys. I love you, and I am here to bring it. And you guys look out for me tomorrow. I got to go, and we gonna talk some more. Cause before you know it, it'll be an hour, and you know how I do. I can go. Oh, I love you too, Keith. I want you to have you a great day. Be good. Don't be getting no stuffy nose like me. Don't get no stuffy noses. It's all bad. But you know what? Like I said, I'm at home. I'm chillaxing. I'm resting, and this is what makes you better. This is what makes you better. You just gotta sometimes chill and rest and be cool. And I probably don't even look like I'm sick, but I had called myself going to work today. I got up, went to work, whatever, and just was sick. I was sick. So I had to come back home. And I just need to chill a couple of days. So anyway, I'm gonna be at y'all. Y'all take care. Love you. See you next show.